My landlord texted me saying he was keeping my entire security deposit because I left the apartment filthy. I stared at my phone in disbelief. I'd literally spent 6 hours deep cleaning that place before I moved out. I'm talking baseboards, cabinet interiors, even the inside of the oven that probably hadn't been cleaned in years before I got there. I texted back asking what specific damage he was talking about. He took 4 hours to respond, which should have been my first clue something was off. Finally, he sent me a blurry photo of some dust on a windowsill and another one showing a small stain on the carpet. His message said, "Unacceptable condition, deposit forfeited per lease agreement." I zoomed in on the photos. The dust looked like it could have settled there in the 2 days between my move out and his inspection. And that carpet stain looked familiar, really familiar. That's when I remembered something I'd done when I first moved in 2 years ago. I'm kind of paranoid about losing security deposits because I'd been scammed by a previous landlord in college. So when I moved into this place, I walked through every single room with my phone and took detailed photos of everything. Every stain on the carpet, every scuff on the walls, the weird brown water spot on the ceiling in the bathroom, the chipped tile in the kitchen. I even photographed the broken blinds in the bedroom and the scratched countertop. Then I emailed everything to myself so it would be time-stamped and saved in the cloud. I pulled up those old emails and started comparing. The carpet stain he was trying to charge me for, right there in my move-in photos. Same location, same size, same weird shape. The scratched countertop he mentioned in a follow-up text, also documented on day one. I went through his entire list of complaints and matched every single one to my original photos. I created a document with side-by-side comparisons. Left side showed my dated move-in photo, right side showed his complaint photo. I added captions like carpet stain, present at move-in, documented September 15th, 2 years ago, and countertop scratch, existing damage, documented September 15th, 2 years ago. Then I sent it to him in one massive email with all the timestamps clearly visible. He went completely silent. No response for 3 days. I started looking up tenant rights and found out that in my state, landlords who wrongfully withhold security deposits can be liable for up to 3 times the deposit amount plus legal fees. I saved that information in a folder, just in case. Finally, he replied with the weakest excuse I've ever seen. "There must have been some confusion with the unit numbers. I'll process your refund within the week." No apology, no acknowledgement that he'd tried to scam me, just a casual, "Oops, my bad." I wasn't letting it go that easy. I replied, "That's great that I'll be getting my deposit back, but I'll also be filing a formal complaint with the state housing authority for attempted deposit theft and fraudulent damage claims." I attached copies of everything, his texts, his fake damage claims, my time-stamped photos, the whole paper trail. My phone rang 30 minutes later. It was him, and he sounded panicked. He started talking fast, saying there was no need to get authorities involved, that mistakes happened, that he'd been managing properties for 15 years and never had a complaint. He offered to add an extra $200 to my refund for the inconvenience and my time if I'd just drop it. I let him finish his whole speech. Then I calmly told him I appreciated the extra money and would accept it, but I'd actually already submitted the complaint to the housing authority that morning. I'd filled out the online form right after sending him my comparison document, attached all my evidence, and hit submit. There was nothing to drop. The line went quiet for a solid 10 seconds. Then he just said, "I see," and hung up. 2 weeks later, I got a call from an investigator at the state housing authority. She said they'd received my complaint and were opening a case. She asked if I'd be willing to provide a statement. I said absolutely. During our conversation, she mentioned something interesting. I wasn't the first person to file a complaint about this landlord.